Quality indies are getting more plentiful by the day. So plentiful that it's hard to keep up with them all. After the list of games I would totally try out eventually got larger and larger, I decided to do something about it. Let me make a video where I play a few indies on my massive list and share my thoughts on each one. Maybe this is the first time you're hearing of some of these games, in which case, great. Hopefully I can make them sound cool enough for you to try too. I played each of the following games for 1 hour exactly, keeping a play-by-play journal of my experience. So I won't be talking about anything that happens beyond an hour of gameplay. Think of this as a bite-sized impressions video rather than full reviews of the games. Let's get started. Rift of the Necrodancer. Rift of the Necrodancer is the long-awaited follow-up to the pioneering rhythm game Crypt of the Necrodancer. Released in 2015, this dungeon-crawling rhythm hybrid had you moving around and attacking to the beat of incredible music. Nothing like that really existed at the time, and it spawned a whole rhythm crossover genre. So imagine my surprise when 10 years later, we seem to be ditching much of what Necrodancer was known for. No dungeons to be found here. This was as traditional a rhythm game as you could get. 3 lanes of approaching monsters, you hit them to the beat, Guitar Hero style. That's what I thought when looking at the teasers anyway, but once the game was in my hands, I realized there was a lot more on offer here, and I got pretty hooked. So, the monsters. Crypt players will recognize many of them, and your familiarity with that game will actually help you here. Each monster has unique approach patterns, and you're gonna have to memorize which monsters require which button inputs if you want to make it far in these songs. And these songs are something else. Many of them are very fast-paced, and on harder difficulties, you're gonna find yourself with no moment to breathe as dozens of enemies are flung down the track at once. In the game's default play mode, you get to select whatever song you want from this massive track list and earn diamonds for your efforts. The harder difficulty you succeed on, the more diamonds you're rewarded with. These diamonds unlock more songs, even harder difficulties, and unique challenges within the challenge mode. There's also a story mode, which I spent most of my time with. The story isn't anything crazy, but it works well enough. Cadence, yeah, the same Cadence you played as in Crypt, is flung to the modern day, along with the rest of the first game's cast. You run into these characters, help them with their problems, and battle the opening rifts that are releasing monsters into the world. That's where the songs fit in. It's a little odd that they separate cutscenes as levels on the menu, especially considering how short many of them are. Kind of makes the story look longer than it actually is, but it's not a big deal. One really pleasant surprise was the mini-games. Throughout the story, you'll occasionally be hit by delightful little games that are very reminiscent of another franchise, Rhythm Heaven. Great to see there are more kinds of challenges on offer than just the standard game type. And as a fan of Rhythm Heaven as well, they were a delight to see. The game is also pretty funny. My favorite joke so far easily being the main villain of Crypt being stuck working at a fast food burger joint. And the animations are so satisfying. Look at them bouncing around to the beat of each song. It's wonderful. There's also a custom level editor, which is just crazy. You can download other people's tracks from the workshop or even make your own. There's a whole level editor program that's separate. It's its own program that you can download on Steam. Completely free. I did give it a shot, and I was intimidated at first, but eventually I got it down and started messing with some custom tracks. So all that summarizes my first impressions with this game, and as you can plainly tell, I love it. It's incredibly addicting, and I wish I was playing it as I write this video. It feels like a combination of every positive rhythm game trait. So if you've ever enjoyed even a single rhythm game, I imagine you'll find something to love here. I also think $20 is a very reasonable price for this insanely high production value and potentially limitless replayability. I strongly recommend Rift of the Necrodancer. I have had my eye on this game from the moment that I saw it. Not that it was a difficult sell for me. A vibrant 3D platformer where you use a yo-yo to fight an army of penguins? Sign me up. Well, you know, eventually. I am playing this game like a year after release, but hey, that's why I'm doing this video in the first place. This is Penny's Big Breakaway, and can we talk about these colors for a second? This game is bright. Reminds me of some of the most vibrant Sonic levels I've ever seen, which is appropriate given that this game was created by the same team that made Sonic Mania. Though ironically, while playing through these levels, I could feel a bunch of 3D Mario DNA packed into this as well. Right away, I can tell this is the game that rewards speed and optimization. You have a ton of satisfying movement options at your disposal and plenty of room to go crazy and string together all sorts of maneuvers. Though, if you're like me, you won't do any of these things and will instead spend like 10 minutes just running around, talking to NPCs, and searching for cool stuff to find. What can I say? I'm a sightseer. I'm certainly no master at these controls, once even managing to fling myself through a wall. But I bet as the game starts introducing more challenging obstacles, I'll start to improve. This is a practice makes perfect sort of game. The level design seems built for this exact purpose, gifting me with ramps, railings, trampolines, and whatever I need to stay moving for as long as possible. Right now, though, I'm just enjoying doing little favors for the NPCs and being swarmed by hordes of these penguins. My god, they're everywhere. They even swarmed me at the level end screen. Penny is a delightful character, by the way. She is so expressive, and I love that she gets to do these little dance performances at the end of each stage. The story goes like this. Penny was performing yo-yo tricks in front of the king until her yo-yo, which is alive, ate all of his clothes and sends his penguin army after Penny. And that's pretty much it. It's all you need, really. After being chased around by this massive ball of penguins, I noticed my hour was almost up. My goodness, that went fast. I spent some time looking around the menu and found a series of special Star Globe levels that you can purchase through the collectibles you find. The one that I played was short and sweet, but I can only imagine how diabolical they could get later down the line. And before I knew it, that was that. 1 hour in completes about 9% of the story. When you're at my speed, anyway. Much of that time was spent getting a handle on Penny, though, and I bet I could go much faster the next time around. Though, honestly, Penny might have too many movement abilities. I bet for a lot of people like me, just trying to wrangle her to do anything remotely close to an impressive combo will be the toughest learning curve of this game. It may take me some time yet, but I'm excited to throw myself back into Vanilla Town and get better and better with each attempt. I would totally recommend this for fans of 3D platformers, but especially Sonic fans. I bet if you're seasoned at Sonic gameplay, all of Penny's abilities are just gonna feel like Christmas to you guys. Speed demons as well will find a lot of speedrunning potential here, and I even think kids will enjoy just running around and beating up penguins all day. $30 is a bit pricey for me. It certainly feels worth the price with high quality animations and silky smooth gameplay, but depending on your budget, you might want to wait for a sale. But that's just me. Out of the 3 games I played for this video, I had the toughest time getting into this one, but I have every confidence that I can get good in time, and it'll be worth it just to see all of Penny's dances. Crow Country is a retro-styled survival horror game filled with puzzles and inventory management. Fans of Resident Evil and Silent Hill already know what they're in for. But what's really impressive right off the bat is the way this game captures that particular graphical style. Those PS1 titles use static backgrounds with a 3D character walking among them. So going into this game, you might expect the same until, oh, that is 3D camera control. Right then, I realized that Crow Country wasn't just here to replicate the old, but to innovate and make new. Allow me to share with you my play-by-play experience with the opening hour of this game. Spoilers ahead, I'm going to get into a bit more detail than I did with the previous 2 games. You play as Mara Forrest. Or maybe not? The way she speaks implies it's a fake alias she's using for this operation. We're a special agent on the hunt for one Edward Crow, the CEO of the titular amusement park, Crow Country. You get flung into things pretty darn quick. A few cryptic hint signs, some health and ammo pickups, and before you know it, you've already stumbled into trouble. These shambling figures take a ton of shots to take down, and at this point, I wasn't too good at the combat yet. The combat controls are snappy, but a little awkward at first. Right trigger brings out the gun, Then you manually aim with the analog stick and fire with the B button, reload with the A button. Something about this sequence is messing with my brain, particularly in tense moments, but I'm sure I'll get the hang of it in time. I went back in and took those creatures down and discovered, hey, a safe room. There's a fireplace for saving and an extremely generous vending machine. It's very cozy, but we can't stay in here all day. Gotta move forward. Very suddenly, there were enemies everywhere, and I was out of ammo, so I'm running around like a maniac, trying to avoid monsters and collect more ammunition. It was great. As I explore, I'm reading about this interesting side business in gold mining Edward seemed to be involved in. I'm finding myself pretty captivated by this mystery so far, and the way the game is giving me lots of information, but very few answers. Many of these doors require keys I don't have, but I noticed that on my newly acquired map that the Swan Room had been circled, so I head there. Something appears to be lodged within the Swan boat itself? Maybe I shoot it? Well, that didn't work, but the swan did move a little. Maybe I gotta shoot it into this spinner and it'll move the swan over to me. Nope, and now I'm out of bullets. Great. What's nice about this game is that it allows for plenty of experimentation like this. Sure, I approached that problem incorrectly and used up my supplies, but I wasn't punished too severely for it. It didn't take much time at all to recover my ammunition and get myself back up to speed, which is pretty generous on the game's part and encourages further trial and error, though I imagine harder difficulties would be a little more stingy. After struggling with this ventilation puzzle, I eventually acquired the bronze key. Great, now I can open up a ton of those pesky locked doors. But hold on. What's that sound? Ah! Now I'm in a new part of the park, the Haunted Hills. Spooky. I found some new gear to power me up and headed straight down into the dungeons. What's this? An Iron Maiden, huh? Well, curiosity killed the cat, I suppose. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, hey, I'm alive and in a new place. Though this door won't open either. And this note says I'm in the wrong location. Darn it, I'd head back to look around some more, but right around here was when my hour at the game was up and it was time to write down all my thoughts. I'm genuinely invested in the disappearance of Edward Crow. Whatever happened in that gold mine must have been real bad to lead to this mess. Also, Mara seems to have some secrets of her own. And it's cool that she seems to know things that we as players do not. She doesn't seem to question the existence of these monsters at all. Almost like she's familiar with them? I bet if I played this game again from the start, I could go much faster and use a lot less ammunition. If you like horror games, especially very puzzly, retro-styled horror, then Crow Country was absolutely made for you. $20 isn't too bad for what you're getting. This game feels like it could be on the short side, but if you're someone who likes to replay it and improve your performance, that game time will increase dramatically. And there's really something to be said about how near perfect it captured the retro vibe of early PS1 horror games. It's a really impressive effort, and I will absolutely be playing this game again soon. And that's all for now, but I got plenty more indies I could try out for similar videos in the future. But in the meantime, let me know how you liked this one. I tried some different stuff to maintain a smooth presentation, so I hope it was an enjoyable watch. And if you have any indie recommendations, I'm always looking for more cool games to play. Thanks again, until next time.